cause analysis. Okay. Kalau yang how tu mudah saja, you do brainstorming, bukanlah mudah, tapi approach dia, you do brainstorming, you ask question how we going to approach this, and then you build the tree. Okay, you iterate the logic tree, and you will get to the answer lah. But more importantly, dalam kita punya performance improvement, dia beza Kalau you solve problem untuk benda lain, maybe approach lain. Tetapi when we say it's performance improvement, we will use it. Okay, you guys ready for the root cause analysis? Sekejap lepas root cause analysis, we take a break Just a fast one, okay? Hari ni semua belajar cepat-cepat pun, okay? Tak nak bergerak pula. Okay. Okay to continue?
Okay.
Alright. Ni yang saya kata tadi, root cause analysis kita nak pakai approach 5Y, mudah saja. Tanya why 5 kali. So why does this machine stop? Why? Because it's overload. Why it's overload? Because it's not enough oil. So when you ask 5, you will see that at the end of the 5, dia akan bagi tahu you yang there must be an issue with human. For every seemingly technical issue, behind that 5 layers lower that, selalunya masalah manusia. Okay, so if you look here, kita kata tadi, problem-problem di sini, tak susah, tukar sajalah, ganti sajalah, tak perlu nak change management sangat-sangat. Okay. Tetapi bila dia dah masuk kat hujung ni, you must change people behavior. Bila you nak tukar people behavior tu, mungkin cikgu or Yusri ingat kita punya sharing semalam, hari Sabtu malam on change tu kan? Yang kita kata nak tukar manusia punya behavior tu, the RABE tu, talking about changing belief to action. Sini maybe dia punya intervention dah berbentuk training, motivation, macam-macam lagi lah So change management is more about handling human that cause the problem. Tapi bila problem tu dekat level 1, 2, 3, 4 ni, ini ni maksudnya kalau sini operator, sini technician, sini executive, sini manager, dah boleh settle lah, tak payah nak sampai top management. Tetapi kalau problem berulang kali, di dalam situational assessment kita kata this machine is the bad actor. Contohnya kita bawa kereta, tayar kita yang satu ni dia dah kat mana berlubang, sebab bila pancit kita pergi isi minyak, pancit ni kalau ada 3 kali pancit, kita mesti suspect ada sesuatu kan pada tayar kita, and then kita kena pergi mekanik, kita kena pergi tukar pergi check tayar tu ada paku ke tak, and then only we do that. So kalau setakat pergi buang paku dan boleh palam RM1 je, tak payah nak pergi management, tak payah nak apa-apa kan. I mean, tak ada budget, tak ada solution yang perlukan budget. Tetapi kalau tiba-tiba mekanik kata, sorry kak, tak boleh buat dah ni, tayar kak botak sangat, kalau saya tampal pun, tampal tu pun tak dekat dah dekat tayar tu. Now you are thinking, wah, kalau yang ini punya level, then I have to get budget lah kan, I kena tukar. So that will give a lot of dia ada sini management of change dengan change management. Di level sini you will have management of change. Because the shaft has worn, maksudnya ada parts yang you kena tukar. Dia management of change. Tapi bila pergi ke human, dia adalah change management. You have to also question of the driver punya belief and action. Kenapa driver? Yeah?
So we talk about the human part of the 5 why though. The last 5, the last why though, 5, the 5th why. Basically, when we talk about human, we talk about that issue on leadership, competency, and mindset.
Yeah, correct. I will come to that. So I will come to that. So this is why we are saying that bila kita tengok falsafah atau belief the driver yang bawa kereta hari-hari tu yang tidak melakukan proactive maintenance, yang tidak cek tayar dia dulu, macam-macam tu yang ada kat situ, barulah kita kena buat change management yang besar lagi. Dia punya approach to solve the problem. Okay, everybody clear on this level? Boleh Okay, Dayah okay? Alright, okay. Right. So bila kita approach, kita kata tadi nombor 1 why, nombor 2 why. Itu level frontline boleh settle. Masuk nombor 3, nombor 4 maybe manageable settle. Kalau masuk level ke-5 kena present dekat top management. Lebih kurang macam itulah. Ya. Okay. So that is one thing first. Now 5 why tadi ingat tak saya kata 5 why pula. Kita ada satu linear, kita ada satu kompleks. Okay. So yang linear tu yang inilah, linear je, sebaris je dia. Now when it comes to complex contohnya tiba-tiba your plant shut down bukan satu equipment rosak, the whole plant shut down ke apa, dia melibatkan lebih besar punya impact. You need a group of people to do root cause analysis. So bila you have a group of people coming to your session of your root cause analysis, these people will have so many ideas. Banyak dia punya tekaan causal dia tu ya. Mungkin itu, mungkin ini, mungkin tu. Now what you need to be doing is you need to facilitate the root cause. Yeah, this is when you have to start grouping all the root cause analysis dan susun dia to make sense. Now dalam ni saya pengalaman saya dalam root cause analysis ni agak lama jugalah ya. Kita boleh kata dalam berapa 15 tahun macam tu. And selalu orang yang buat root cause ni dia akan kata, bukan 5 why je ni Jas. Kita orang sampai 12 why. Maaf. Okay, so dalam ada kan? Pernah dengar? 7Y, 9Y, diorang bangga pula tu Y diorang mana. Okay, so this is where I want to give a tips on conducting root cause analysis facilitation ya, supaya jangan jadi lebih pada 5Y. Okay, there are few things that bila kita conduct root cause secara kompleks ya, yang kompleks punya will be dealing of a lot of ideas, but first thing first, you must make sure that idea tu semua adalah mutually exclusive and what is the other two?
Collectively exhaustive.
Yes, yeah. Dengar mutually exclusive, collectively exhaustive. So when you want to make sure it's collectively exhaustive, you must make sure everybody you invited to the root cause analysis session must contribute at least 5 to 7 ideas. Okay, supaya keluar semua apa dalam otak mereka to at least 5 to 7 ideas. And you must now able to susun the same concept of idea to make it exclusive. Okay, so that's rule number 1. So when you achieve mutually exclusive and completely exhaustive, if you run all these root causes in a software, you will see that iterate dia akan keluar tak lebih pada 5. So meaning pada Y yang pertama ini, the first Y ni, kat sini ni you dah ada mutually exhaustive and mutually exhausting. Yes. Okay, and messy. You dah tengok first why ni dia dah messy dah. Kemudian baru you work on the why until di hujung. Where you will see that at the end of this fifth why tu, barulah you jumpa tak ada dalam ni. You jumpa people issue yang ia adalah sama ada leadership, ya, capability or mindset. Ni adalah usual suspect. Tetapi ada juga kadang-kadang you jumpa dengan isu dengan design. Ya. Okay, so bila you dah berjumpa dengan leadership, capability, mindset, design ni, ya, meaning that you have to work on another level of solution lah, ya. Solution yang kita tadi tu yang kena ada change management. Okay, design ni kenapa kadang-kadang kita pernah tengok orang buat apa, kancil tubuh, kan? So maksudnya masa dia buat situational assessment, dia tengok capacity kancil asal tu. Kalau enjin dia macam tu, maksudnya dia tak boleh racing lah. So what they do, dia modify dia punya enjin jadilah enjin turbo kan. So this is what I'm saying. Sometimes the design of your asset is not correct. How you write the job description for your staff is not correct. Therefore, you tak boleh tuduh leadership ke, capability ke, mindset, tak boleh tuduh. Kalau you design the work wrongly. So ada masalah design di sini. So bila masalah design, approach lah, pergilah ke design. Okay? Kalau ada masalah leadership, pergilah leadership. Apa contoh masalah leadership? Masalah leadership contohnya dalam bad situation, perlukan decision atau fokus dari leader dia tak ada.
Wasn't the design done by human?
Betul. You lah tu.
Computer capability of designing that particular thing.
Yeah, but contoh kereta, bukan kita yang design kereta tu, kita beli kereta tu dah siap. So in most manufacturing punya setup, dia punya design manufacture tu bukan orang yang operate the plant. Nampak tak?
Okay.
Ya. So, dia tak boleh lah nak tuduh apa salah Mitsubishi ke, salah Honda, jauh sangat lah tu. Macam dia nak settle, salah tak boleh settle.
Let's say the production, for example, there's a machine dalam production, manufacturing production, for example, though that machine was invented ataupun designed by supplier whatsoever. So it was actually came to us. We accepted a design of the machine which was not properly designed, or not suitable for the purpose. Okay.
Correct. Contract design kadang-kadang masa kita membeli kan, kontrak dia dah begitu. Jadi so ada masalah design lah dari segi kontrak, dari segi apa orang kata schematic drawing ke apa ke, banyaklah benda-benda kat situ yang kita tak boleh tuduh current team punya isu. Dia adalah isu luar. But still kita tidak bolehlah gunakan tu sebagai alasan tak buat apa-apa. Kita mestilah come up with solution juga. Kalau kancil pun boleh tukar jadi kancil tubuh, takkanlah kita ramai-ramai dalam organisation tak boleh fikir untuk exceed the whatever gap ataupun capacity yang kita nak buat. Okay? So these are little tips. So on you to conduct root cause analysis, it must be mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. Ya, semua yang hadir dalam your root cause analysis session mestilah the right people. Kalau dia orang bukan the right people, takut ke mana-mana hala nanti you punya solution. Okay. Now when they all gather the idea, tak semua idea yang dia orang letak itu adalah valid. So the next step is for you to go and check with records. Ya, check tengok. Contohnya kita kata no meeting agenda and structure. betul ke no meeting agenda and structure? You pun pergi check, ada je meeting agenda, structure elok aja kan. So now you remove lah all the root causes yang tak kena mengena, hanya ambil yang yang berkenaan sahaja. So you must check and validate your root cause with first record, existing record lah, bukan record yang dibuat-buat untuk selamatkan diri daripada audit. Being so old in this area, kadang-kadang record yang dulu tak ada, tiba-tiba ada. Okay, so first record yang existing record, so you check that. Kalau you punya root cause tu macam sebelum ni kita tak pernah ambil data lah benda ni, so macam mana kita nak validate? Second is to validate with the subject matter expert. Ya, orang lain yang berpengalaman, dia tengok tak adalah benda ni, tak mungkin terjadi di dalam area ini. Macam tu, so you will get that validation. So you have two ways to validate your root cause analysis. Okay. Now once you have validated all the root cause analysis, you just turn the card. People are not focused, so you ask how to make people focus. So you start to craft your solution by turning all this card from negative to positive. Okay. Another tips when you write root cause, make sure each of the root cause ada subject yang clear and subject and apa? Bukan predicate, subject and apa yang benar? Lupa lah. Subject and bukan reject. Alah. Siapa ingat? Dia ada dia punya
Defect.
Defect, yes. Setiap subjek defect. Contoh, meeting is the subject. Defectnya boring. Okay. Notice is the subject. Send late is defect. So setiap benda kena ada subject dan defect. Kalau tak ada defect, nanti you tak boleh turn to the solution. Okay, so that's the tips for doing the root cause analysis. Usually it will take half day or 1 day for you to come up with a good root cause punya solution lah. Okay, any question on root cause analysis?
Just nak tanya sikit. Macam now we say we have the ideal is 5 whys kan, and there are people who have gone to 12 whys. I mean, how do you know how berapa banyak why tu yang you actually come to the actual problem? What are the key things that you look for that you know that this is the actual situation?
Okay, alright. When you say actual, you means that it's a validated lah kan? Okay, right. Let me ulang balik Okay, so it's like this. Sebenarnya bila kita throw ideas, walaupun kita ada 10 orang ke 20 orang dalam bilik kita tu kan, yang letak 7-8 idea of the why, of this card kecil ni kan, So when you iterate this idea di dalam software, I don't remember what kind of software we use last time, bila you susun dia ikut mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive, dia takkan lebih daripada 5. Tetapi dia punya first why tu jadi banyak. So the build up, the why ni sebenarnya ke bawah. Yang jadi banyak tu bila dia build up ke sini. So what they have failed to do, first they must fail to group the same idea into the same group lah. Maksudnya dia tak mutually exclusive. Secondly, masa dia bina this 5Y ni, dia dah jumpa human kat sini, the fifth, tapi dia masih teruskan juga. Ketiga, benda berulang, maksudnya dia tidak eksklusif. Dia dah jumpa kat sini, dia sambung lagi kat sini. So selalunya bila kita dah sampai Y, the fifth Y, kita akan jumpa these 4 usual suspect, leadership, capability, mindset. Kita stop lah. Kita build yang bawah, Okay.
Just now you mentioned that there's one of the reason also is because we already found the human factors there, right? And then we keep on the otherwise and so forth. So in other words, my question is, we should stop there.
Stop lah. Jumpa human stop lah, sebab human ni root causes dia ada 3 ni je.
And plus the design.
Ya, plus the design. Kalau dia punya job description atau instruction tu salah, the design of instruction and the leaders, sometimes the root causes lah. Maksudnya leader tu tak competent nak tulis job description, then that's another set of problem.
That's the thing. Bila macam katakan kita sampai level ke-5, we found out that it's a design. But then why the design was a problem is another set of whys.
Because dia akan jadi problem lagi besar. Kita tak nak benda yang duduk level complicated, kita bawa ke level kompleks. Kita maksudnya bukan problem solving, kita tambah problem.
One question. There are times when actually when we sit down with these people, in your case, the consultant, we sit down with the clients, and straightforward, they will say that, oh, this is because of human factors, blah 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 blah. Straight away, there's no so-called
analysis.
They straight away go to, okay, this is because of these people attitude or mindset, blah blah blah. So how would you encounter that kind of statements coming on from the line managers ataupun the clients?
Yeah, you see, all of us are trained to go quickly here. Sebab that must be what our parents ke selalu kata, attitude is all about attitude kan. Jadi kita dah biasa. So when you do the silent brainstorming and you force them to think 7 why, 1 kad je boleh guna untuk attitude. Lagi 6 tu diorang kena fikir. So when you force them to think, then they will come up more than attitude. Lepas tu bila you susun tu, you will see yang diorang tuduh attitude semua tu duduk di ujung. Okay?
So in other words, it is good that we, even though they come up with one why, and that is related to human or ataupun seem to be accused of also as a human factors, but actually when we ask them to go through the analysis and the rest of the whys, we will find out that it's actually operational punya.
Correct. Ada banyak benda lain.
Cost.
Correct.
It's operational part, or this is just a normal managers, like managers can solve these type of things.
Correct.
The number 2, number 3, right? You're talking about number 3, number 4. Sorry. Okay.
Okay. Another thing is bila diorang terus pergi ke 5th why tu, kita tak boleh tuduh, kita kena masuk satu lagi pula dalam satu benda dipanggil human science. Yang why 1 hingga ke 4 ni, any background, engineering, business, whatever can handle. Masuk ke 5 punya why ni, human ni dia ada bidang dia sendiri namanya human science. So untuk kita tuduh performance tu, kita kena buat pula CFA. Siapa yang pergi buat dengan Dr. Nurul hari tu? Kan? Kita nak kata what are the factor that cause performance in human. Ingat tak? So bukan mudah ya, walaupun dituduhnya attitude, kita nak validate attitude tu nak kena pakai teknik lain dah. Yang nombor 1 dengan nombor 4 kita boleh pakai just SPC, Statistical Process Control apa-apa. Tapi bila dah masuk human, dia nak kena pakai SPSS, dah lain software dah. So it's not that easy ya. Tuduh memang sedap, nak validate tu sakit lah. Okay, so that is two paradigm bergabung sekali lah. Okay. Alright, so this is the same, just for you to read through lah the notes. So kena buat misi mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive, and kemudian always test balik you punya root cause ni, ujung ni make sense tak, it will cause this, make sense tak, make sense tak, make sense tak. So once you cause the make sense, secondly you do record, check the record to validate, or you check with subject matter experts to validate your root cause analysis. You punya logic tree ni logic tak? Tu soalan lah, dia punya closing tu dia. So from this, selepas you validate dah, you dah identify dah mana satu the right root cause semua ni, baru you turn the cards to start to do